go downstairs and get started. Oh, that's Jess, I think. This Justin. Which is actually kind of ironic because I know it might seem to sound like a common name, but I associate the name Justin with a loved one that passed away. So that's what I wanted to start with today, and then we'll do a song and we'll go from there. Kind of want to wait till there's people tuning in. Sorry, it's just chilly in here. I didn't know what sweater I wanted to wear, but with the AC off, I'm sure it'll warm up. So I'm just going to wait for people to tune in. But yes, I wanted to start off by telling a couple of my recent stories as they connect to this. I'm hoping to also have some good news to share, but I would have to make a call first, and I haven't done it, and maybe I should do it while rolling. I don't know. It's actually an event that I'm trying to decide about going to. That is potentially pretty deep. But sometimes the deep is okay. Hopefully you won't mind that angle. I've got to move that. In fact, I'm thinking I do it now because otherwise this is not bad. But this is distracting me. I'm not sure why it's there. The other person in the house put it there at one point in time. It needs to be there. And it works there nicely. So there we got it. Now, what was I? Oh, right. But she might be with the children today too. So, sorry for a bit of a slow start. One, I'm waiting for people to tune in. Two, and actually, last night I almost couldn't remember, was it on a different site? I mean, I don't use that many of them, or this one, but it was this one. I had said that I was going to come rolling at around 8:30 or 9 the next day, and I said what time it was when I was rolling, and some people saw that. But so some people may, and I'm mostly on schedule. I'm maybe 10 or 15 minutes later than I would sometimes be, because I get up fairly early, and then 45 minutes to an hour later, and I'm good. So, anywho, I was just we got a family thing kind of going on, and I was just wanting to send that person something, but it's not so distracting that I won't do this. It's already been 3 since I looked, or is it just because it's the other device? Oh. So bit of a sore ear, but I almost want to say it's because the weather's getting chillier. I don't know why. I haven't been out in it that much though. But well, I guess a little bit. But anywho, so aside from when I was coming downstairs there, on the radio, aside from some other very interesting kind of questionable things that the two hosts were saying, I think you can hear me as I sit back here. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit far from the thing, but I could have it on my lap. That's the other option. I'm just looking for. I guess that's the one. Yeah, it doesn't feel that cold. A little bit. um, I guess I never know. I should plug this in because who knows? This might end up being a bit longer than I think, and I might end up at the piano. Although I do have the guitar playable now, but looks like it's all the way in, but I guess it is. So, again, it's only been just under 7 minutes, so not too bad. But sorry for the slow start. So, great. So, on the radio today, they were mentioning a place. I was looking at some post about the afterlife. They were mentioning a place about that just so happens my grandparents' ashes. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting this out on my lap here. Ashes are put, and it's I think a somewhat unique place for someone to have ashes at. And so that was kind of ironic. And then not long after that, and it was actually really ironic, and yeah, I mean, I guess it's maybe the last. Well, people will go there in the winter too. Sorry, I just feel this is lumpy behind me, this pillow. There we go, I think. So not long after that, I heard a song that I don't think is getting a lot of airplay anymore because it's old. Not that old songs don't, but it's just I don't hear it very often. Let's just say that. And I know that I played it. Um, I know that I sang it at karaoke back in the day. And I have a loved one who I very much associate with karaoke. Welcome, by the way. Sorry, I'm just putting something. Just kind of my arms are a little bit chilly. Anywho, very much associate, and you left whatever with karaoke, and basically, yeah, and she passed away earlier this year. And when she did, I looked up some old videos because I sometimes used to do videos when we did karaoke, right? And there was one that I don't even, you'd think it might stand out in my memory, but it really didn't until I saw the video. And I also remember doing this at the Jam Cafe. It wasn't a song that, like, it's not that it's a classic, but and I mean, it was mixed ages, but mostly younger, mostly people, in their 20s, maybe 30s. And they were really into it when I was singing it. Mind, I was singing it, and I know I have talent, not to my own bugle, but if you've ever seen the channel before, or the more you watch of it, you will realize that I have musical talent, and you might even realize that it's online anyway, sometimes appears to go largely unnoticed. There was a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's a lot, and a lot of talent as well. And then also, I don't really like bars and I don't drive, so it's largely unnoticed in general. Anywho, but I did used to go and sing karaoke back when I lived near a place, and back when I was younger, 5 or 10 years younger, and you know, Ray had invited me to sit, you know, by her work corner with her friends, and even though I haven't really had a lot of contact with a lot of them in a while, or even really know how to make the contact with them. I honestly think that kept me going too. That kept me going. I mean, occasionally I'd come with somebody else, but a lot of times I'd go because they were all there, the regulars. And if they hadn't been, I probably wouldn't have. And those were really lovely times. Um, you know. Anywho, um, and what was crazy is that the version that they were playing on the radio today sounded a little bit like it didn't seem like the original. I don't know what it was, but it sounded like people singing in a club. And the other thing that stands out, especially after seeing that video, and I meant to say it, but I don't think I did, was that a lot of people were dancing around. And I think at one point in time while I was singing, said it was lovely to see everybody dancing. The power of music, the power of talent, the power of um, having fun and enjoying yourself and others, that you're with. Um, I also happened to notice a post on uh, uh, in a group page, which I actually, interestingly enough, I was looking through the groups I'm in online, and I almost scrolled. It bounced past this at first, but for some reason I scrolled back up and came into the group and saw that I've been doing it this way lately. I don't know why, but I kind of like it. It's kind of my thing now. And also the phrase "chapstick" if you're curious, "chapstick" if you're not. Anywho, um, and somebody posted, and I won't say their name, but be interesting if they see this and see someone who you know um, connects to things like this, yeah. Anyway, basically, she says that her mother-in-law passed away in 2022, or that does it say? She says her name was Susan. And actually, seeing Jess kind of makes me think of another Susan too. Mom went last August. She was Rosemary, so I didn't get enough of it. My sister-in-law went away to Devon last week and needed to hire a beach hut. I don't know what that means. To me, they look like storage lockers. There was only one left, number 12. Look at the name on number 11. Or rather, both of them. Side by side. I don't know if you'll make it out if I just do it like this. But I think, yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure. And if not, I think you know what it's saying. So that's kind of cool. Um, um, okay, that's going to be easy enough to find. I'd rather wait till there's somebody tuning in, tell that story, and and sing that song. Um, so I think that those examples enough, plus any that you may have had or heard about yourself, um, pretty much validate that people say it in different ways, but basically that there is an afterlife. Um, Now I saw this guy's comment on something else. I'm not sure if I'm going to read that because the part at the bottom doesn't really make sense. I did read his comment a little bit, and it kind of did. And okay, I unintentionally clicked out of that one, so I think that that that's what I'll leave that one. Um, Sorry for the brief lull and stillness, whatever you want to call it. I mean, anybody that sees this after the fact may want to use it to let things sink in. I accidentally just clicked somebody's photo. It is a rainbow in the sky, if that means anything to anybody. It was the name Elizabeth. It was just on top of Messenger. Trying to see something here and it's being wonky. Okay. It thinks I'm trying to tell it two different things, but I'm not. Okay, so that's problem. So I do have an idea, though. I do have an idea. Um, yes, that must be. Hmm. Um, Nobody's here right now, so I'm kind of I've went a bit quiet. Um, but I guess that was 11 hours ago, but I'm really surprised Greg hasn't came here yet. I don't know where in the world he's at the moment, literally and figuratively. So I don't want to be too much slower. I mean, it's really great when there's somebody here, and in fact, that's the other thing is that I was just messaging someone to see if they might like to be, but I don't think he's online right now. So I almost thought he was, but I could say that was 11 hours ago that he put that reaction. I really would rather just wait, and say that whole thing. Skip ahead if you curious for the song or more content and things seem to be going slow. Just skip ahead because I'll hop back into it. But I really just want to keep my energy for when there's somebody there who is interested. Those ones are gonna get me, even though we'll get 1 and 3 then. And I was also kind of hoping that this fellow musician was going to show up. He's given me permission to sing along with him, and I was doing so when I discovered him. It sounded pretty decent, so hopefully it will. Um, I don't know. Part of me, it's not that I have a whole bunch else going on. I might go out and get something to eat in a bit. Um, I kind of want to browse some things on my other device, but I don't have to necessarily. Um, and I mean, if things were a bit more active in this one, I'd be happy to roll longer, but they aren't. So I aren't. No, um, they aren't. So I might, yeah, I might. Oh, and then I do have a phone call I would like to make about something. Uh, Basically, for anybody that sees this after the fact and wishes to help, and I can elaborate more, I'm trying to decide about. Uh, well, I mean, first of all, I'm only going to be able to if they say sure. And there's an aspect of it that makes me think that it might actually be likely. Um, there's an aspect of it that some things about the thing upcoming thing that I might want to perform at that I feel iffy about. But and I don't know what the weather is going to be like on that day, and it's going to be outside, and they said rain or shine, and that's kind of silly to me. But you know, we have pretty wintry winters here, so you know, I guess anything after that date may just, yeah. Anywho, um, I don't want to be on the phone though when if somebody tunes in, so that would be better to do. I mean, if I am, it's usually saying I don't mind if somebody either weighs in or is just listening, and then I try not to make it too long. But yeah, I'm gonna put this over here because I feel a bit more able to stretch and move around when I don't have that on my oops on my lap for some reason. I'm not really sure why, because it's easy enough. But yeah, I'm also not really sure what the differences is between super chat and live chat all messages, um, and how monetization works. These days. Just a random thought that I'm trying to figure out. How do you get Cash App? Is it the best way to receive? They say that it's based on advertisements. Okay, that makes sense. But how is it also? But if somebody just wants to donate, then what does it matter what the advertisement settings are? You know. Anyway, I don't really. I'm actually thinking of my dad's advice a little bit. I don't really want to go through waiting around too much longer for someone to show up. I'm surprised I briefly looked away a couple times, and sometimes people do only kind of come in for a few seconds. Maybe they're just kind of putting it in their watch later section and finishing something else, watching something else, or in general, or who knows. But I've mostly been looking at the screen for the past 28 minutes, and I've not seen anybody tune in at the top. And that is very unusual. Um, it seems like some of the glitches or whatever that YouTube was experiencing um, have fixed, but maybe if people don't know that, they're giving it more time. I don't know. But we got the Angels here at least. Obviously, that, as I was mentioning, that's something very possible. And yeah, I can't really have the radio on because even though I've seen it, sometimes YouTube will say, "Oh, you're playing pre-recorded music," and that, which is a great segue actually to what I'm about to do. Um, and I don't want this to get too long. Although he's got some longer ones as well. I've noticed. I haven't watched a lot yet, but um, um, uh, and there has been a few short ones recently. Yeah, it's more so that I might want to get outside for a bit and do something else, and the waiting is just tedious, I guess could be a word for it. So I'm going to say a little bit of an introduction about this song. If anybody's here to hear any of it, cool. And then I'm going to do the song. Um, Excuse me. By the way, I mostly mean, by the by, I mostly mean angels. And they may have been slightly hidden. I shouldn't have said that, but they may have been. So we got someone that just tuned in as I'm about to do a little bit of an introduction and then do a song. So welcome. Curious if it's your first time on the channel, you left. And I'm going to say that means that it probably was, and you just decided too quickly, or the other things I sometimes guess. Because if it wasn't, and you've liked me before, then no reason I can say why you wouldn't now. And sometimes people misunderstand things too. So if you heard something, it made you feel a certain way, it probably wasn't my intent. Let me know, because yeah, I may not have meant it a certain way. Although that was an example. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I think it was just no real reason. Uh, just kind of, yeah. Um, Anywho, so I guess I haven't told this story really yet. Well, actually, I did the day the evening that it happened, kind of, sort of. I don't want to be too particular, but maybe at this point I will, because I'm here. So we put something in our window. We have a window upstairs in the bedroom that doesn't have a curtain. So we put something in it when we're in them when we want to sleep, so that it's not. I mean, I know we're going to have our eyes closed, but the eyes can still kind of sense light, and it just, I guess, makes it a bit more cozy. Personally, I'd love to sleep with the salt lamp on its lowest setting, but yeah, often don't. Let's just say that. But anyway, basically, but then I also feel amazed because I know Alex had a collection of them, and also, yeah. Anywho, so um, the other night, the other evening, um, for the first time, well, I guess every now and then, when they're both in there, and I don't know how the heck put them in there, the top one sometimes does fall. But I don't remember which one fell. I think they both fell. And then we were trying to put them back up. They fell a couple more times, and then they stayed. And then about 15 minutes, half an hour later, they fell again. Um, and we have a loved one who is in hospice palliative care right now, passing away. And this all also transpired on the day that her daughter-in-law reached out to us. 28 minutes ago. Is that okay? And I will admit, she's being a little bit. She follows this channel, and I don't want to be mean in saying this, but she is being a little bit awkward today. Even though I was podcasting on the shared device, and then I noticed the message, so I was the one that kind of sent, and it's fine. And she was fine with that, and she's been on the channel a couple times, and so seeing me in video, but also this particular relative we aren't actually that close with. In fact, even the one that's passing away, I'm not. The other person in the house is, because I've only known that person. Well, I've known them for about 7 or 8 years. So I never knew his family before then. Anywho, so, and I was thinking about this loved one that's passing away, and my mind, for some reason, connected it to, oh, she's tried, did she pass away, or she's in a coma-like state, you know, just like, I believe angels are able to kind of give us signs and symbols and this and that. Maybe she was just kind of saying, and interrupting a nap, but whatever. Hi, I'm here. I love you, whatever. And the real wild thing is that this her daughter-in-law. Well, first of all, I was doing a podcast. Still worried about Melissa from Alaska. Don't know where she's been lately. But I was doing a podcast, and I wish I could remember, but I can't, why this song I'm going to do came to my mind. But it did. And then upon talking to her, she said, if I'm understanding correctly, and then she'd been thinking about the song the rest of the day, kind of, but that she was listening to it either on a CD or music player or on the radio when she was driving, I think, to go visit this relative. So this song was following us both. And I looked up um, the song, and I'm curious to find covers of songs sometimes. I used to watch them a lot more, but I've been looking into them a bit more lately because he doesn't really see about curious. Piss me off. Anyway, because yeah, I just wanted to, and I found a version, and the guy that's singing it, I've chatted with him a little bit here on YouTube. I'd asked if I could sing along with this on my channel. He said, sure, let me know when you do it. In fact, like I say, I'm very surprised he hasn't tuned in, but it's probably late there. Maybe he's went to bed and wants to see it in the morning. Maybe he's got something else going on, but was able to quickly look at my comment. And he said that it was awesome that I was going to do it today. I guess I didn't say I was going to do it now, but then I have since updated him, but I don't think he's seen that yet. Anywho, point of the matter being is I'm going to sing this with him. I guess I should say his channel name. Remember, we got to think of ourselves first. It's not necessarily being selfish, and it's also not necessarily not showing love and or appreciation for somebody else. But so I'm going to say, you know, check out my content first. It's awesome. You'll enjoy it. Remember to, nobody's watching at the moment, but like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I should clarify for people that wonder why well, I guess that makes sense. Hit the notification bell so that you're notified, because apparently just being subscribed doesn't necessarily do it. Hi, good to hear from you. I guess it was just a tiring night. Wouldn't you know it, although I'm going to be wrapping up very soon, I'm actually going to be doing an interesting cover of Come to My Window if you'd like to tune in on the YouTube. Nobody's there right now, which is kind of disappointing. You played his piano music, but you didn't play my video? Good that you brought beauty to the environment, though. Oh, I see. Okay, maybe that's why, though. I kind of want to wait because I kind of think that this friend might tune in soon, but uh, I don't know her super well. And yesterday, and it actually ended up being while I was podcasting a little bit, she was watching some kids. One or two of them may have been her own. I'm not sure. Sounded like she had a bit of a um, homeschooling type of program, or I don't know. Anyway, and so she might be doing that again today. I don't think that this is a song that kids shouldn't hear, but I don't know if they'd be that interested in it. If they didn't like the unicorn song and I can't remember what else, like $1,000,000, I did a little bit of, um, then you know, but they were eating, they were reading, and they wanted to go play outside. Is what the vibe I got was. Anyway, so I'm going to round it off with that, and I mentioned it in it's a when they speak one. Okay, now she heard of the ones from last night that she's seen but ignored before. But yeah, I guess she's going through a lot. Anywho, without any further ado, or any audience, but for the angels, I hope that this is not going to transpire, because I'm thinking of the song and, just share what I shared. I hope that this is not going to transpire of being passing. However, like with any of us, but especially when you're in this kind of situation, it is something that, is kind of inevitable. It's ever since was a really long song because, once I start, people might tune in, but hey, that's good. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, um, I will definitely tell G when she passes away. I mean, because we already know, and it just makes sense. But before then, I don't think there's really, you know, when he's not thinking about it, that's probably a good thing because she's not very able to communicate right now, and that would probably be his strongest hope would be to have another conversation with her. Um, like I say, I think we both believe that you don't necessarily have to say goodbye to someone when they pass away, and don't misunderstand that because I'm not saying it 100%, but um, I'm saying it with the fact that, with the belief that we see them again in heaven, that is very comforting, and with the belief that before we pass away, after any of our loved ones do, that they give us signs and symbols and such that they are still living in a different way and in a different place and still with us, which is very lovely. Um, so, with all that in mind, I might have to take a couple attempts at this, depending on how it comes out. But I'm confident with my singing abilities. This guy's pretty talented, so I'm going to be singing with Greg 25 ism. I'm not really sure what 25 ism means. I'm not sure if he just tuned in, but like I say, he's given me the permission to do this. I'm thankful. I don't, like I say, I don't like bars. I don't drive. I don't have a lot of money these days. So I don't really do music with other musicians very often. There's probably still ways. I just don't. So it's very special when something like this can happen. So let's see here. Okay, here we go. 15 years to learn this. Just have to skip the advertisement. Might not let me, but okay, here we go. Come to my window. Welcome to the channel. Curious who we have watching? If you've been here before, happy to have you here. Sorry for the sound quality, but I should have looked up the lyrics. Maybe I should. Oh, I'll just let him be the ones who don't know. Mike? Okay, I'm just going to pause it for a moment. Miles Saki. Is that how you say it? Welcome. First time on the channel. I already asked that, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to jump into this song. I must say that the name Miles, and don't forget, if you haven't yet, to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you would like. The name Miles, aside from a former classmate, makes me think of a musician that, or a singer at least, which is a musician, that has a pretty popular song out there right now, ironically called Nice to Meet Ya. Do you know it? Okay, this has come to my window though. Sorry, I don't have a speaker. I should look up the lyrics, but it's okay. Gregory style. Just to listen to your voice. I would really love. The only thing is you know what I'm thinking of might do actually. We have a second person here, and I know one of you is here waiting to hear the song and all that. I am very tempted, and I did tell a couple people that I was going to do this in this video, and one of them I said I'd do it at the end, and I can add that comment in. I am tempted to do this via do live stream it via the phone, and the viewer laughed. They're like, "You're not doing the song. What the heck?" But no, you did stay for a little while after hello though, and I'm very confused. Anyway, I'm tempted to. You're like, "Oh, you're feeding into temptation. That's bad." People, they hear something and they go off and running with their thoughts sometimes, and they're not either that or he said, wait, he just mentioned a flirtatious song to me. But what I'm thinking, is I might live stream it with this and play it with this, and I feel like the audio would be louder, so I'll be right back. Whoops, did it not do that?